long.
So how long is that? 3 and 1?
Yeah, 3 and 1.
Yeah.
Let the past.
Should we
So
talk
you know
about-
how long. 2 movies.
Each one.
Because previously, like, probably sometimes the STI get wrong. Yeah, so just as a gauge.
Okay, so before we start, are you ready to start?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so the same thing. Every presentation is a professional presentation. Okay, so I want to remind the audience as well. Don't laugh. Don't make them laugh or whatever. They are not your friends. They are a team representing their group. Okay, so make it as professional as possible. So you have anything to say? Yeah, you want to say? I will not be asking any questions, by the way. Alright, so I'm not going to ask.
So maybe just to share with everyone, we attempted this HKUSD case, KFC. Oh, HKU case, KFC in 8 hours. So perhaps there may be some flaws in terms of our flow, but yeah. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Zheming, and today I have here with me my colleagues Michelle, Alethea, and Xiuming. We are Vertex Consulting, and we are here today to share with you, KFC China, on how you can reassure your consumers every bite of the way as they step into your store and take the first bite to that chicken. Our team aims to address the key question of how can KFC manage its supply chain effectively and regain its consumers' trust. Firstly, we note that there has been a recent poultry scandal that has severely impacted KFC's consumer trust. Noting from the study from 2012 from Shanghai FDA, its findings, they have identified high levels of antibiotics and hormones in a large number of samples that they have taken from KFC China's stores. KFC has reacted in concealing this information from the mass public and as well as its relevant authorities.
What caused this food scandal was mainly the lack of transparency of reporting of standards by KFC, and KFC was slow to implement corrective actions post-findings. And this led to a fall in consumer trust where 80% of consumers no longer deem KFC as safe to consume in China, and this has a financial impact also as stock prices fell by 11%. Hence, KFC needs better PR relations and a trust framework in place to improve customer trust.
Taking a step back, our team attempted to identify the stem of this issue and looked along KFC's supply chain. And KFC's supply chain can be broken down into the processors and the farmers. KFC China purchases its poultry from its processors, which are also known as suppliers of KFC China's poultry. And these processors have an extensive network of farmers, and they act as middlemen in connecting KFC China to the thousands of farmers across the northern region of China.
Next, we identified issues faced within each stakeholder. For farmers, due to poor infrastructure as they are small family-owned farmers, there's poor farm sanitation as a result, which led to an overusage of antibiotics. Next, the overusage of growth hormones was mainly due to the profit pressure faced by farmers. Farmers wish to maximize their revenue within a short period of time, and they face rising cost pressures. Next, within the processors, they lack of safety checks, which led to a fabrication of feeding logs. Also, there's poor safety regulation of such flotation of rules, which led to a fabrication of quarantine qualifications to ensure their profits. Hence, KFC requires better control of these stakeholders who went out of control.
Our team would like to push forth our winning formula in addressing the two aforementioned issues. Firstly, would be to renew KFC's China supply chain. Next, would be to reassure consumers on KFC China's quality in starting the rebuilding process towards the consumer trust. Firstly, we will deep dive into the first recommendation, which will be to renew.
Hence, to renew our supply chain, we first have to evaluate the various procurement options available. So, looking at domestic production, there's outsourcing and vertical integration by KFC. So firstly, for outsourcing, KFC is able to leverage on existing large-scale players like Futian Sana Development Corporations, who has well-developed processes and operations in place. However, if KFC wants to conduct vertical integration and move into processing and production of chicken on its own, it will incur high capital expenditure to ensure self-sufficiency to meet its demand. Also, KFC lacks of existing expertise in production and processing. Hence, it will be too large-scale an operation to manage for the entire supply chain.
Looking outwards, we will consider the alternative of import. And we have evaluated that import would not be a feasible alternative because China has adopted a more protectionist stance and imposed a 105% tariff on US imports. This will translate into higher costs to our local farmers and our processors. Furthermore, this situation has been aggravated with the existing import bans from over 60 countries due to the outbreak of a recent influenza. Thus, outsourcing is still the best method for KFC to continue its procurement process, but it needs improvement.
So taking a look at our current outsourcing supply chain, it faces issues as mentioned earlier. Processors and farmers have an existing farmer contractor model, and farmers are external stakeholders that processors liaise with. KFC China is unable to directly reach out to all these fragmented farmers. Hence, we believe that we are unable to address the issues faced by farmers directly.
Therefore, our team would like to recommend the farmers being integrated into the processors' in-house production business model, whereby these farmers will be employed by the processors in carrying out in-house production so as to facilitate better quality management and as well as improvement in standards in terms of production.
Hence, let's take a look at the benefits to the key stakeholders in this change to a vertically integrated processing model. Firstly, for KFC China, there will be a better control of stakeholders since it only needs to directly manage a smaller number of stakeholders, which are the 25 processors, instead of 1,000 farms. Next, for processors, they will see an improvement in facilities and processes, and with the vertical integration, there will be absorption on the intermediate profit margin, and this results in greater cost efficiency in production with larger economies of scale. For farmers, there will be greater opportunities for farmers, which allows for more stable income as compared to them producing chicken independently with less resources available.
There will be 3 key changes as opposed to our initial model of a company farmer model, as opposed to our in-house production vertical integration model. Firstly, there were initial different levels of regulations between farmers and processors. This has changed into a more standardized regulation procedures from rearing to processing of chickens, as we'll be able to ensure the existing standards within one in-house production. Second, there will be different levels of infrastructure between farm. There has been different levels of infrastructure. The change will be there will be a common usage of updated poultry technological equipment across the value chain. And the third change will be that initially farmers have differing ownership in terms of land and resources. We will intend